I am here at Tina's Productions. You need to meet the owner, Tina Green-Heinze, of this amazing place. Hi, Hilary Ettenson with parkbench.com, and I'm here with Tina Green-Heinze from Tina's Production, the coolest costume shop, and it's right in Cherry Hill, if you can believe that. So Tina, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming.
And what is Tina Productions?
Well, what we are is a full-service costume rental shop. We specialize in musical theater. That was always my love. It was my mother's love.
Theater nerd here.
Yeah, very good. I was very lucky. I went to school in Cherry Hill, great theater department. So I went on to get my degree.
East or West?
I was a West girl.
East over here.
My boys went to East, but so I went on. I got my BFA in costume design from Mason Gross up in New Brunswick.
Yep, Rutgers.
Rutgers.
Special theater program there.
That's it. So, and basically, even though musical theaters are a specialty, we still deal with a lot of other things. We do custom build costumes. My tailor Andrew, who unbelievably talented. He works on the national tour of Pretty Woman.
I'm sorry, like the actual tour of the Broadway production of Pretty Woman?
Yes.
Right here in Cherry Hill.
Actually, we just finished. We shipped them out 2 weeks ago. We worked on the national tour of Aladdin. We were building pieces here. Andrew also just recently built things for Between the Lines on Broadway. So
this is no joke.
No,
no joke.
God bless. We have a very talented staff. Jim, who is my wig master, he also works with AVA, the Academy of Vocal Arts, who is one of the leading national training grounds for opera stars. We also are very privileged to work with Disney. We are the official costumer for the Channel 6 Thanksgiving Day Parade in Philadelphia, and also for the National Cherry Blossom Parade in Washington, D.C.
Oh my God.
So, but
no big deal. No big deal.
We really love, and I love, and it's why I started this, working with schools. I have no patience to be a teacher. My husband's a teacher. He's really patient. Me, not so much. But it always annoyed me that the theater kids don't get the same privileges as the athletes do. And it's still a sport. It's just a different type.
Yep.
And so we try really hard to provide that for the schools. I mean, our kids, if they're doing a period show, we want them to have period correct costumes.
Right. It's not like going through your parents' closet to see what we can find.
That's it. And what I try to do when possible is go and actually talk to the students and let them get some knowledge on the period. Theater is such a fun experience. It's great for the people watching it. It's great for the students and the adults that are involved in it, and the kids watching it. And we have great things like...
I wanted to ask about...
This is our little girl.
A crazy dragon up here.
This is the dragon from Shrek.
I was going to guess that.
She is 17 feet long.
Oh my God.
And she needs her own 10-foot truck to travel in.
Oh my God.
So it takes approximately 6 people to work her. She's considered a puppet.
Okay.
And the schools love her. They love having her because, it's such a moment when she comes out.
Yes.
We've got one of our kings and queens here. We've used this in all different shows, such as Shrek. We used it for the king and queen. For that. This is the witch, not fairy godmother. She's like the old hag at the beginning. Crazy Cinderella. She's Crazy Marie. And then this transforms as she spins. She undoes this. And of course she learns how to do, the actress learns how to be doing this as she's doing her dialogue. But then this falls, it still stays on her, and it falls, and she becomes the fairy godmother. And of course, when she's spinning, it does it a lot faster.
Yeah.
You know, but it's very cool. This is James.
Hello, James.
Hello.
What are you working on?
This is supposed to be Priscilla Presley.
Okay.
It's Halloween time.
Because
so.
the boss this year said, yes, we will do Halloween.
Right?
Halloween time, that is dress up time, use your imagination. Priscilla Presley, that's a good one.
Well,
Right.
yes, we're trying.
Well, and he's got this great bird lady headpiece that he built for someone else. Jim is not only talented as a wig master, but he also does all of our hats. He builds these beautiful hats for us.
What is maybe the craziest request you ever had?
Craziest request.
Or maybe the most challenging request? Share? I'm hearing share in the
Oh,
background.
Cher. Yeah, Cher's difficult. Cover Cher in sequins. Here is remnants of one of the
enchantments.
enchantments
For Beauty and
from
the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
Ooh.
So that's a. She comes and says, "Jim, I need a vase of flowers." Oh, okay.
Yeah, but for someone's head.
Yes, but it has to be on someone's head. We did all the hairspray wigs that are about yay big for the finale of Hairspray.
About how much does one of those weigh? Because I know a lot of costumes are a lot heavier than people think.
Could be 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh my god, just carrying around in
Yeah.
my head.
You know,
But
we
it
have to-
has to balance.
It has
you
to
know,
balance.
So we get it all balanced, and then it has to go on a dancer.
Yeah, so he does
So
chin
you have to
straps and all
explain.
different
You have to
things.
explain. Yes, you wear this chin strap with this wig, and no, you can't do this.
Yeah, yeah, it's choreographers, not always the costumer's best friend.
No. So, a couple questions that I'm curious about. Fellow theater nerd, what was the first Broadway show you ever saw? And then a follow-up,
Oh.
what was your favorite? Not necessarily which show do you think is the best. Two different things, but personal favorite.
I was really fortunate.
Okay.
My first
Yeah.
Broadway show was A Chorus Line in 1976 it was closing night with the original Broadway cast.
Ooh, good one.
So the show continued, but that was the last time the
Original.
original cast was there, which was outrageous.
Did you know what you were seeing? Because I love when I was little and you don't realize the significance of an original cast, and then it's 20 years later and they go on to be famous actors and actresses. You're like, oh my god, I saw them way back when.
Well, no, I mean, I was in high school. I knew that it was important because I was a theater nerd also. But I didn't. But the cool part was, for a long time, I did national touring children's theater for AFT, which was in Philadelphia. And I actually worked with a director there who was in that cast.
Oh, that is so
He
cool.
was a dancer. And so it was very cool to work with Dennis. And then, I had seen him, right. And then, 30 years later, I got to work with him. So it was, like full circle. It was cool.
Favorite?
Huh?
Do you favorite?
My favorite one that I've seen or costumes?
Ooh, both.
I'd say the favorite one that I've seen is probably Sweeney Todd. And I saw it with Angela Lansbury and Len Cariou. So, hard to top that.
Yes.
But
yes.
Actually, my favorite show, I've never gotten to do the way I want to do it from bottom to top, and that's Pippin. So
Magic to do.
I love that show. And if I could just find a director that has the budget to let me do it like the original was done with Ben Vereen, I'd be a happy camper.
Yeah.
But, now it's very circus themed, and that's the popular way that we do it. My job is to bring the director's
Vision to
vision
life.
to life.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's not. Especially when they want to take something really traditional and do something crazy with it. So let's meet some more of my wonderful staff.
Come on. There's so much cool stuff here
Yeah.
to see. First show, 3 years old, obviously didn't appreciate it. Yul Brenner in The King and I.
Oh,
My parents thought my grandmother was crazy for taking me, but apparently the music started, the curtain went up, and I didn't move. And that was the start.
that's wonderful.
Personal favorite, Starlight Express in London.
I saw
not
that
New
in
York.
London too.
That
Oh
was
my God.
5 years old, and they had like little aisles all throughout, so they would come skating by and
yeah.
give kids high fives. And when it was coming to New York, it was just like, we have to go. And we're like, this will never work. And of course, we were spoiled little brats during intermission, like, it was better in London. It was better in London. And everyone around us is just like, spoiled little brats. And so who do we have here?
This is my tailor, Andrew.
Hello, Andrew.
He is unbelievably talented. I think I've said that several times today already.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this looks like Sunday in the Park with George.
That's it is. Yes, it is. We're in, I'm going to say about 1884, 85. So it's a really good period piece to do, which is kind of my specialty. I love getting into these period pieces. So, yeah, we're going to be building this. This is Dot, who was the Bernadette Peters role on Broadway.
And then there was also Mandy Patinkin.
Mandy Patinkin is George Surratt.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So so we're doing this for St. Joe University,
Yeah.
and I've just begun. Behind you here is the underskirt and the actual crinoline that goes underneath, so you can see the shape of the period. So you can see how it's got that look. And I've started to kind of mock up a skirt with cartridge pleating in the back here. That will kind of give you the fullness, but then drape out.
About how long does it take to do a costume like this?
A couple weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what we don't have in today are our stitchers, because we're just getting into the alteration stage with the schools and whatnot. So, they're only in a couple days a week until we get all of the measurements from all of the schools, and then we start having, right.
All hands on
But,
deck.
right, that's it. But Andrew works with them and explains, anything like that he's built with like cartridge pleating or thing, how he would like them to alter it so that we do get the longevity. I mean, we spend the time and the money on good fabrics, good trims, having him build it as high quality as possible because we want the kids to experience this. We're not, if your school comes in and they're doing something rotten, we'll give it to you. I mean, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get our silly girls. If you're doing anything goes, you're going to get fully beaded gowns because that's what the characters would wear, and that's what we provide. And when I started out 30 years ago, that was one of the things that started to set me aside and make me different from the other shops was
It
I
wasn't
would
just
rent
generic.
that.
It wasn't
Right.
just
I would
generic.
rent that to high schools.
Especially in the age of everything's on Amazon.
Right.
It's like, I'll just go on Amazon, and ultimately someone will bring that costume in and say, can we do something with this? This is a rag, or it's unconstructed. I mean, there's a lot. I've started to pattern her jacket behind you. That's just the base. I mean, there's so much inner work and boning and canvassing that goes into that before it's finished. But sometimes you'll just get one little sheet of fabric and like, oh, here it is.
It's like the difference of going to the Halloween costume store
right.
and, essentially the fast fashion type of costume versus like if you went into
Couture.
a vintage shop and found a couture dress from the 60s.
Exactly.
That's it. And that's what, that was what I wanted to supply. Back here we have this is accessory land.
Ooh.
So we have all of these bins have hats on this side, and then on this side we have crazy stuff. We have ties and gloves and suspenders and spats and socks and a little bit of everything.
Cool. If you're doing Five Guys Named Mo or West Side Story or
Right. That's it.
Spats. What were these spats for? The one that with Frank Sinatra with the horse betting. Guys and Dolls.
Guys and Dolls. Oh yeah, that's always
that
a
one
fun
out.
one. Okay.
Whoa.
So this is the warehouse, And my husband says it's my big closet.
Oh my God.
So
Talk about a dream walking closet.
if you look up here, you'll see tails hanging. That's Little Mermaid.
Okay.
And we built those right after the show was originally released, and everybody wanted the tails. Now people have kind of gotten away from doing the tails, but we have some schools that still want them. So
How do you look like a mermaid without a mermaid tail?
You know, it's just a matter of illusion, I guess.
The magic of theater.
The magic of theater. So,
Who do we have here?
this is Reagan.
Hello, Reagan.
Reagan is, she's been with me like 4 years now, and she is one of my head craft people. If you look up there, you'll see a can that says Chicken of the Sea, because we needed to do a can of tuna.
Oh my God.
And she has done everything from Fraggle Rock to, you know, last year we did a show for University of Penn, Mask and Wig Club, and we had to do everything that was on the internet. So I was just throwing these things at her. Okay, I need a MapQuest costume. Yeah. And she was like, what does that mean? I was like, okay, well, let's do that dot thing for the head. Let's do a t-shirt with the streets. And she was like, okay.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. And she also helps me pull the shows. She's one of our show coordinators, and she just, you know, she has jumped in with both feet and stuff, because I was lucky I got her like right out of college, basically, and she has just learned so many of the shows so quickly, and I'm appreciative because if it's a show she doesn't know, she's like, do you have the script? Is the movie online? And she'll go home and she does that herself. You know what I mean? It's like she wants to learn because she wants to make it good for the kids.
Well, and
which is
also
what
if you're
we
a
do.
theater lover, hey.
Yeah,
right? So what is a costume where you're just like, what? And then you ended up just being like so proud, like, I cannot believe I pulled this out of my head.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, you made a costume that was a MapQuest, so
Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean,
that was fun. For the same show, I made Clippy,
Oh.
the Microsoft paperclip,
oh my God.
and I put him on suspenders. He got like a little cameo in the show, but I was so proud of him. I helped a lot with Aladdin.
Ooh.
I did a lot of sewing. I don't usually do any sewing here, and I got to jump in and help on that. And
She did great.
thank you. I learned a lot, but it was a great experience, and I think I proved something to myself. Yeah.
What's your favorite show that you've ever seen?
Oh, that I've seen? Oh, that's really hard. Oh, probably Les Miserables.
Huh?
It's the
Fair
one that
point.
I remember the most.
Show them your tattoo.
Yes, I have
Okay.
Jean Valjean's
Oh,
Prison
there
Number.
we go.
Yep. I did it in high school, and then I saw it on Broadway.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're real theater people here.
Yeah,
all of
shocking.
us.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Hard to believe. And we have someone else here that we want you to
Yes.
meet.
This is Megan.
Hello,
Megan
Megan.
is
Hello,
my
Megan.
warehouse manager.
Yeah.
And she is also a very talented actress and singer. You've probably seen her because she's performed everywhere. She was Fiona in Shrek at the Ritz. She's worked at Candlelight. She was Miss Honey at the Media Theater in Matilda. I can't remember all of the other ones she's done. She did one.
The great
Big
thing,
Fish.
Yes.
She did Big Fish.
Well, the great thing about when I was in Shrek, which was the first one she mentioned, that's right when we built the show, so they were able to use me as
The fitting
the
model.
fitting
and-
model for it, and then I got to use it. And that theater I worked with is the first one that rented it.
Oh, that's
so
so
it was
fun.
like perfectly fit to me, which was really
Yeah.
cool. Which is the fun thing about working in a costume shop when you're also an actor. Yeah.
So she is like my brain.
What's it
That's
gonna
about
be?
the only way to say. She is so super organized, and she's so funny. She'll send me pictures like, see this row here of all of these,
Yeah.
and so she color coordinated them so that we know like what we're changing from like tuck shirts to regular men's shirts to specialty shirts. And she'll send me pictures at like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, Megan, what are you doing? I got started on the project.
I know.
I couldn't stop.
Well, that's the thing about this costume shop. There is a lot of stock.
Yes.
And there are quite a few of us who may be pulling a show. So the big thing for me is to find a way that makes sense for us. So if Reagan's putting something away or I'm putting something away, we know where it's going to go. Because the hardest thing with this much stock is it goes away and then it comes back and it has to get cleaned and put back where we can find it again. So I try to do things like that, which I do have a little anal retentiveness in me, which is helpful.
That's great.
It's a great job skill.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much here. You can't not be organized. You would
You have
never.
to be.
You would never
You never
find a
find
dress
it.
again.
Exactly.
That's
So,
it.
yeah, so-
and I drive them crazy because I'll remember something and they'll be like, "We don't have it." I'm like, yes, we did. Yes,
It
we
is.
did.
We each have those
it.
moments where, like,
Yeah.
we know we have it somewhere. Where else could it be? And there's, like, X, Y, and Z where it could be. But, yeah, it is very helpful to have large signs on bins.
Yes.
And also color coding is the new adventure.
That's the, well, and we have so much stuff, and it's all divided in different ways. Like these sparkly dresses you see here, those are parade dresses, because sparkle looks good on stage,
Right.
you know, and
You
on
need
camera.
to be able to see it from far
So
away.
that's it. So we keep those all together. Then we have the jumpsuits for the balloon handlers, and they're
For
all
the
kept
parade.
together
Yeah.
for the parade. Then over here we have like Nun World and
Yeah.
Sister Act.
Nun World.
Yes.
Okay.
Sister Act was really big.
Yes.
You know, it's still being done, but it was super big, you know. But then the ladies also divide the shows.
Yeah, we have show-specific sections, we have genre, we have time period, and then we try to do it within size order or rainbow order. Those are my two go-tos.
So but it's really difficult. I mean, it's difficult to keep this warehouse running, and I appreciate her and Reagan so much for all they do, and the fact that they stay on top of me, because, you know, sometimes I may be a little bit of a diva.
She's a very good boss, though. She gives us a lot of freedom to kind of organize that.
But, you know, sometimes it's like, yeah, they'll put it away, you know, but I try not to do that.
So, question for Megan, because you are an actress who works in a costume shop. What is a costume you would love to wear for a role?
So, I mean, with Shrek aside, because those were pretty awesome, I did a production of Arsenic and Old Lace, and it takes place in like the 40s.
Oh,
And so that has a very specific silhouette, and we were able to tailor some of the things here, with like the high-waisted skirt that goes down past the knee and the little matching jacket. And I love that kind of vintage look. Even though it's a costume, it's not a fantastical costume, it's more of a period time, 1940s. I love those kinds of costumes. Like, those are my favorite to wear.
Poor Reagan. She's so good natured. She smiles in all the pictures. There, I'm a parrot, you know, and she's smiling. I do. I make them put on anything I need to show somebody.
We like to try costumes.
I mean, if you're working in a costume shop, I would imagine it goes with it.
yeah. Oh, and here comes...
And we have the newest member of the costume shop.
This is our shop mascot.
Oh, shop mascot. So who do we have here? Our next theater generation.
Yes, this is my youngest.
She's going to be an opera singer.
Yes.
Yes. With the lungs. We already have the
yes,
lungs.
yes.
And we do have the Shrek theme going. This is Fiona.
Oh, hello, Fiona.
Can you say hello?
Hello,
Hi.
Fiona. What's your first show gonna be?
Well, it's funny. All of my kids, my whole family does theater, and usually it's like a walk-on baby role. Usually, like one of the ensemble members will just like carry them on, so we can say that they had their first stage credit. But she has not gotten a chance yet. The pandemic.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we've got to get back on the roll. But yeah.
So
Definitely.
I need to know what this costume is right here. We've got like tree people.
Those are the haunted, spooky trees from the Wizard of Oz that attach. You know, they attack the four friends and stuff on their travel down the yellow brick road. So.
And angel wings.
Angel, yeah, you know, you never know when you might need some big
I
angel.
mean, you never know. You might as well just, make them. Who knows when someone wants to be an angel? I mean,
Well, we work with a lot of special event companies, and they will do
Anything.
crazy things. I mean, they'll just call and, like one time, my friend Sandio, who runs Creative Juice, she was like, okay, Ricky Paul, who is a well-known actor in the Philadelphia area, he's going to be the whipped cream, bandit. And so he needs, she's like, those things that hold bullets? I need them to hold cans of whipped cream. Okay. It's like,
We'll figure it out.
right, basically. And it's so, you go to the store, you get some cans of whipped cream, and you go to Andrew and go, hi, this is what I need. And he just shakes his head. He's like, no. Do you know the word no? No, I don't. That's my problem, is I when it seems weird, it's more appealing.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure it's a nice challenge, and
Right.
it's, yes.
Like Beauty and the Beast has been very good to us. It's been a great show, and we rent it constantly. But you kind of, how many times can you do it
Yeah.
without wanting to do something exciting to it? So it's a fun business. I mean, it's very hard. People don't realize how hard it is, because when you're doing a costume, one costume can have as many as 12 pieces to it, to really make it the whole costume. By the time you get to hats and gloves and parasols and petticoats and, it just goes on, and that's just one, and so when you're doing a large show and you have 100 costumes like that, it's very time consuming.
Yeah.
And we write everything down and really try to keep track of everything so that the directors can keep track of it. We know what we're getting back. So it's, there's a lot of work. It's more than coming in and going, it's a fun
Pick out this one,
costume.
pick out that
Yeah.
one. Yeah. It has to be a well-oiled machine.
Right. So, it's taken a lot of years, but, we're going on 30. So,
Till 100.
yeah. So, it's
Well,
good.
Tina, thank you so much for this. Now, Tina, if someone out there is doing a production, they want to get in touch, how do we get in touch with you?
It's very easy. You can email me. It's Tina's Costumes, all one word, at verizon.net.
Okay.
If you can't remember that and you remember my name, there's also Tina Green-Heinze at outlook.com.
Okay.
Look in the phone book. We actually have a landline, which I know, like no one has landlines. We have a landline.
Number?
Is 856-528-5165. And we also have a website, which is www.tinasproductionsinc, all one word, .weebly.com.
Fantastic.
And that has tons of pictures, which Megan, who aside from being my warehouse manager, also is my website designer. We
She
keep
wears
everything in the
multiple
family. So.
Well, Tina, thank you so much.
Thank
Tina's
you.
Productions in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And I'm Hilary Ettenson with parkbench.com. And if you know of any great businesses in Cherry Hill that you think should be featured, let me know.